Etsy has had two massive changes recently, and every time, just like in the past, these massively affect the seller's bottom line, how the algorithm views us, and what we need to implement moving forward. So in this video, I'm going to break down what happened, the implications behind it, what that means for your sales in your Etsy store, how to pivot, and most importantly, how to grow. What's up, everybody? Dave here. Welcome back to the channel. Shout out to everybody grabbing the free Etsy ad cheat sheet in the description below, as well as booking the free mentorship calls in the description below to work with me in my hands-on coaching program. Let's jump into it. So, Etsy SEO changes as well as Etsy ad changes. Both of them mean huge things, and it changes the algorithm. It changes how stores perform. And within the past couple of weeks, we've been seeing a lot of results from people that are experiencing negative changes, interesting changes, and positive changes. So I'm going to break down what happened, what always happens after these algorithmic shifts, as well as what you need to be doing right now and what you need to be looking out for. So definitely watch the entire video because it's a very important topic. Whenever this happens, you need to be very, very alert. So what actually happened? Etsy is recommending you change your titles to a short version, and they came out with a brand new tool to help you do that, to help you change all your listings all at once. One simple click, there you go. Then on the other side of things, Etsy ads have implemented a new way to strategize with your objectives. So they have 3 strategies, they're calling them, or objectives, and they each behave differently, whether it's aggressive spend, balanced orders, or very conservative and trying to increase your return on ad spend. So that's what happened. What always happens after these changes is the deck of cards gets shuffled. I've said this throughout my 7 years here on YouTube, that every time one of these changes happens from Etsy that have algorithmic implications or ad implications, the deck of cards always gets shuffled. What does that mean? That means you can expect set listings that weren't doing that well to start doing a little better, or doing great. Listings that were doing great to start to decline. All those kind of things do happen. Each listing is essentially, in a way, an island onto itself, at the same time creating a group of islands that is called your store. So each listing may behave differently. And if you see that, that's normal. Don't freak out. We're going to talk about what you need to do coming up. But that is what is always happening with these shifts. Things get moved around. People will lose their rank. Bestsellers, top stores will lose their rank. You'll see dips. And that's how you survive these dips, is to understand that this happened, that these things happen, and not freak out. It always happens like this, so don't freak out. What you should do now, first I'm going to cover, Etsy SEO, then I'll cover the Etsy ads side of things. So Etsy, recommending that you change all your titles all at once. Everybody's, main consensus, at least all the YouTubers that I know or watch myself, including myself, before I even watched these other videos, everyone agrees that you should not go and jump on and do it. Everybody that I've seen disagree in the comments. I would imagine that they are newer sellers and they have not been around for almost a decade to see these changes take place. The main argument for changing the titles is that Etsy recommended it, so why wouldn't we follow their recommendation? And that's a kind of a scary mentality to have. You want to just be a little bit careful. Don't jump on every train that Etsy tells you. It's kind of like the kind of mentality that's like, if it was true, it would be on the news, or the government wouldn't do that to us. They would tell us on the news or something. That's what it reminds me of, honestly. But I digress. Don't change all your titles all at once. If you've done it already, that's okay. But just remember that moving forward from here, what you want to do is have a mix. Try the short titles. Create some new duplicates with those short title recommendations. Absolutely. Make sure all your good keywords are in there and make some short titles. You can also mix with not all the way stuffing till the end, but some titles that are a little bit longer than what they want you to do, because what we are looking out for right now is that Etsy's recommendation is baseless, and they simply just want shorter titles for the customers. If the algorithm is actually reflecting what their recommendations are, then we want to look out for that and we want to test that. That's why we want to do our shorter titles. But worst case scenario, there's no algorithm change to back up this recommendation and longer titles still work. So if that's the case, test that, do some longer titles. Your existing listings might not reflect that if that is true, okay? So do a mix, make new listings and do the mix on the new listings. Do not change your existing listings. Anytime you change existing listings titles, I don't know if you've never heard this before, let me be the first to tell you, when you change titles of an existing listing, it almost never works out. But at the same time, we have heard in the comments on my previous video that some people did it and are experiencing some views on older listings. That's great. However, those older listings still have time weighted against them, and if they're older and underperforming, they are still being judged by the algorithm for that. If it wasn't getting sales before and had a poor conversion rate before, just because you changed the title doesn't mean you're gonna be sustainable in sales with that listing. Okay, so do a mix. That's what you do for Etsy SEO on the Etsy SEO side of things. For the Etsy ads, if you can not focus and you can only think of one thing to do, what do I do? Okay, I'll click it and I'm done. Just choose balance my orders with return, the center option. Keep your budget where it was at and choose the center option. Etsy will have a balance of your spend with your return. And I believe that setting is even going to be better in terms of return than what the previous Etsy ads algorithm was doing for us. I believe the previous Etsy ad algorithm was simply set to aggressively spend and attempt to get you sales. That's what I believe it was set to, and it was kind of like an ogre just storming ahead, trying to get those kills for you, right? But now with these hopefully sophisticated settings that hopefully generate results that they're promising, I would definitely choose the middle one. If you have products that are high profit margin, I was speaking with a student earlier today. Their profit margin is insanely high. They could, if they wanted to, increase the first option, which is an aggressive ad spend, and then only turn off unprofitable listings. But even then, for that store, for that student, it was hard for them to have unprofitable listings because of their profit margin. So I would choose the middle, knowing that that is likely going to be the best balance. But if you have a very low profit margin, obviously choose the conservative option all the way to the right and see what happens. But the main thing, I made a video on the Etsy ad. I'll link that in the description below. I made a video on the Etsy ads changes and what I think they are going to do. But if you don't know what you're doing, then I highly recommend choosing that center option with the Etsy with the SEO, mixing your titles and just waiting. Don't make massive changes. The biggest takeaway I want you to learn from this video is that you do not want to make massive changes and get sporadic, because the algorithm is already being affected by these changes. So if you start getting sporadic, it will take months for the algorithm to figure out and balance the whole entire website out, as well as your store, from sporadic changes to balance itself out. So the best thing you can do is don't change all your titles, add a mix on new listings only. Then with Etsy ads, choose the balanced option in the middle, wait and see what happens. Then you can choose what to do. But if you change everything now, you're jeopardizing your store. So is Etsy finished? Absolutely not. These two algorithm changes, these changes happen all the time, and you should not be worried, but you should kind of let it all happen and observe. That's what I want you to do. If you need help with your Etsy store, absolutely book a free 10-minute call in the description below. I'll help you grow your store hands-on, analyze everything that's wrong with your store, give you specific homework. My mentorship options are in the description below. If you want help with your store, definitely book a free call in the description below. I will review your store with you, tell you how I can grow your store, and we can potentially work together. Also, grab the free Etsy ads cheat sheet in the description below. And I hope you have a beautiful day. See ya.